The Asian Indian Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with New York, New Jersey Minority Supplier Diversity Council, brings to you an 8-part series on supplier diversity, awareness, and education. The goal is to advocate, certify, develop, and connect minority businesses, enterprises in the global corporate supply chain. You can network, learn, and hear from industry leaders and minority certification agencies. Kickoff breakfast event starts on Wednesday, September 14th at Metuchen Golf and Country Club in Edison, New Jersey. Recently, our ITV Gold correspondent Nidhi Kathuria had a chance to talk to AICC President Rajiv Krishna. Whole interview will be aired soon on ITV Gold and YouTube. Right now, let's watch some highlights.
Could a supply chain create more value in terms of price drop and customer satisfaction?
So it has been shown and proven that if the supply chain is diverse, if you have lots of small companies as part of your supply chain, a lot of the innovation, a lot of the reliability, a lot of the quick agility, a lot of the cost savings, and a lot of the innovation comes from your diverse supply chain. I mean, the large companies, if you buy from large companies, you get a good product, but all the innovation happens with small, diverse suppliers. It's a proven fact.
Mm-hmm. Komal, you have your own business. How has joining this association helped you and your business?
So this is a brand new initiative where we are trying to get the corporate buyers and the small businesses like mine. So we are trying to map the buyers with the corporates and the needs, what they have, and eventually make them sit across the table to make the business happen.
Mm-hmm. How does one identify the best end-to-end solution in the supply chain, Stephanie?
So the best way to do that is through a sourcing exercise. And the sourcing exercise can be in the form of like a request for proposal, which is known as an RFP, or a request for a quotation, which is something a little bit less formal than the proposal. And then through that competitive process, there's then scoring. And the scorecard allows you to score it against the metrics that you've determined best align with the overall need and the requirements of the business. So whatever the result is of the scoring through that competitive process winds up being the best fit for the project.
How does e-commerce or B2B business affect the supplier diversity?
So I think it actually helps. I think that the way that it's able to help supplier diversity is that the reach is larger. So when I often talk about companies or about diverse companies with companies, is they typically look local, and that's amazing. But a diverse company doesn't necessarily need to be local. So when they get frustrated where they're not finding the company that they need, my advice is to really look larger. So use the e-commerce platforms that are available so that your reach is larger, and you can really start to see that there is the availability in that space with diverse suppliers, as long as you're looking in the right places.
What makes a good diverse supplier, and how can diverse suppliers improve their relationships with corporates? Stephanie?
A good diverse supplier is one that's continuously growing. I started in 2019 as a diverse supplier, and my first year was awful. I was only going after government business, and I really didn't understand it as well coming from the commercial space. So for me, I really needed to look internally, like, okay, what are we doing today? How do we do better? And how do we leverage the communities that I've grown a part of to really help me get there? So that's why chambers like the Asian Indian Chamber of Commerce are so absolutely critical to businesses that are diverse, because we understand each other, we're a community for each other. We really help each other understand how to get from point A to point B, what that looks like, how to develop a strategy, how to execute on it, and how to make sure that it's sustainable.
Give me examples of small business enterprises, minority-owned business enterprises, woman-owned business enterprises, and how do you help them? Of course, we have one woman-owned enterprise right here. So tell me, what is your business all about?
My company helps corporates to build their workforce in the contingent space. I think I have to repeat this.
Okay.
My company helps corporate to build their workforce in the contingent space and the full-time space. We also have a HR tech system, which is a software as a SaaS company, and we help corporates to build their interview management system. I don't want to talk about that because I'm representing AICC right now. But I joined AICC recently because I met with Rajiv, and Rajiv had this vision of building a supplier diversity initiative in the chamber. I myself, as a women-owned organization, we got the certificate, but there are a lot of organizations who have these certificates and they don't know what to do with it. They will take all these certifications and they keep saying, this is of no use, though we get it, but how do you use it?
Yeah.
They don't know about it.
That would have been one of my questions, but how do you plan to use your certification?
Yeah, so it is all about networking. That comes second. So once you get certificate, then you have to show up in different conferences, and business doesn't happen overnight. Rome was not built overnight. So you have to keep coming to these conferences, meeting these supply diversity managers, explaining them what they do, understanding what their needs are, do all that. And I wanted to enable all that along with Rajiv in the New Jersey and New York area. As long as you're doing it, believe me, this certificate has a lot of power.
Any last words or any message for the emerging entrepreneurs?
There's only one word. No, you are your best enemy and you are your best friend. If you really believe in who you are, if you really believe in your business, if you really want your business to grow, there are lots of ways to grow businesses and there are lots of ways to make money. But I think as a community, as being able to be certified as a minority, I think you're leaving a very huge untapped potential by not becoming certified, number one. Number two, exploring how can doing business with large companies really change you, change your employees, I was just thinking about it. All of us have business stress. If you're running a business, you've got to have stress. Doesn't matter what it is. Would you be stressed about fighting for the last penny and pleasing the last client? Or would you be stressed about how to make the best product happen? How do you get the right team in place? How do you get the right innovation in place? And money is really not an issue. The client will pay you whatever your costs are. The client will pay you what your fair price is. But you're more worried about innovating and putting the right team together rather than worrying about how am I going to make my ends meet? How am I going to pay my next bill? So I think to me that is really a key differentiator. Were you worried about paying your next bill or are you worried about taking the next step in your business? So I think as a supplier diversity, as a diverse supplier, you really have it within you to make that call. Nobody can make it for you. And believe me, if you choose to be certified, great things are out there, believe me.